Hey, hey, how you guys doing? Let's do it to it. So give it a look to see. All right, and away we go. D4, knight F5, knight F3, knight F6, bishop D4, D6, E3, and then E6. This is basically the setup of the Leningrad Dutch London system, or London system of the Leningrad Dutch. This is how they. That's how you would play it. If you wanted the stone wall rather than back here, it would be the stone wall would be D5, D6, bishop D2 here, and then and then after bishop here. There, a lot of players would play. You have to be careful here because you really can't. You can come back. So back here, if here, and then takes, and that becomes a thorn. And then the goals over these two squares. The knight, if he could, would love to jump in and dominate e4, and white's knight would love to dominate e5. That's a setup. Ganakamsky was the one who kind of popularized. He was the one that popularized h3, because the whole idea is basic of knight if knight h5, then bishop goes to h2. Bishop would go to, so knight h5, bishop h2, because we're wanting to keep our bishop on this long diagonal. That's the whole point for white, is to have the bishop on the long diagonal. Keep our sniper readily accessible. Bishop E, C4. You could potentially go G4 as well. See, knight BD2 is interesting. Some players have actually played castles. Knight C5, C3, Queen E8, Bishop E2, and Bishop G6 is actually, Queen G6 is actually kind of a dubious move at this point. What you're going to want to do is try to break down the center. So potentially what you might want to do is fianchetto your bishop and then go in towards for that line. So basically this is an idea. So Queen G6 and then G4, Kazam. Now this move here is a bone cruncher. He takes, H takes, and then Queen takes, and now you fall into knight to H4, and the Queen is trapped. If rather than that, knight takes G4, then Bishop D, D, and this is actually a trapping of the Queen as well. No, well, it's not trapped, it's almost trapped. But what it does do is it sets up for an attack here, right onto that pawn there with check. So the queen can't come back here, because if it does, then he can't take, and you lose the queen. So the queen would have to go all the way back. But again, you still have the same problem, and if you come here, then you have to be careful, because you don't want to trade off your good knight. Well, I guess you wouldn't have to worry about that. If bishop takes, then takes there, and if it takes, I'm not sure. So the idea is right on through to there. c4, bd7, knight bd7, knight c4 or c3. Okay, dokie. Knight f8. An interesting move, because that again frees up the potential for c5. Bishop b3, knight g6. See, white wants to play g4, and this knight really puts a kink in the works for that. Bishop b2, it also attacks the bishop. So castles, queen c2. This stops black's idea of e5, because if of course v5 gets played, wham, we get we win a piece. And if that, then we take. And if here, then you can actually take there. And if rook takes, then we've actually won a pawn, and we also have an open file for our rook onto the king. So that's why instead of that, bishop bishop d7, castle queenside is a really nice move, because now we're ready for the onslaught, and we're going to be the first one to attack. Our attack is g4, pawn g4, a6, g4, wham, b5, knight g5. Now this is a pretty interesting setup for sure, because what you're wanting to do is, if the knight was to move here, you can actually play f, potentially f, or just take it, and then when the pawn takes, one of the knights will take. So bishop takes is a mistake. They're saying that potentially instead of this move, g takes is actually best. Takes, and then rook h1, and now this knight is pinned onto that pawn. It could still move, but queen takes g is actually it's a piece sacrifice, but what it does is it stops white's attack. It's kind of funny. You're thinking, whoa, aren't you trading out a piece? Yeah, but if you notice, white wants to just overwhelm black. It wants to storm him, storm black, storm them, and just keep storming them up the board till there's no tomorrow. So this actually helps stop black's attack. Taking is a mistake, because it only helps black's attack. I mean, white's attack. Takes, bishop takes, g takes, there, and rook d8. Now we really don't have any pawn levers or pawn breaks to kind of go after this here. So black is pretty safe. White's the one now that has to worry about being levered open for a pretty tremendous attack. So, but with this happens, now this leaves lots of blessings for white to be able to attack the black king on. Yes, it was a sacrifice, but the sacrifice was so worth it for a pawn. No more attack on your king. You've got to love that. You got to love that attack. d5. G takes, and takes. And now this pawn is a deep thorn in black's throat. It's a bone in the throat. So you have a bone cruncher right there. Knight f7, e5, and now if we could trade off one of these bishops, we're right as rain for an attack. E5, e4 would have been a good move too. e4 prepares to get the pawn of break in the center to go after this. So you could go e4 or knight e5. Knight d5, bishop g3, bishop b5 to hold on to the pawn. Queen e4 is an interesting move. e4 right here is a really strong move, and if he was to take here, of course we can actually take back at this point, double attack this pawn, and there wouldn't be enough ways to save it. We would like if you tried something like this, you could try that, and you'd have to be careful, but that stops that right in its tracks. So b4, c2, and it's still okay. But queen e4, it's okay. Knight takes, pawn takes, and then a4, attacking our rook. King d2. Surprisingly, you would think that this would be a saving the rook, right? Not so, my friend. There's me. So that's why it kind of was interesting, was that it had to be played. Rook d2 is a move that could be played, but you're gonna have to be careful here. Now let's see though, when the knight took back here, it stopped this. And now this doesn't work like it normally would, because the rook covers that. So there's really no more threat. That's why they had to change plan to go rook b8, so that when this check happened, it would be mate. Knight had to take. It was forced. You have forcing moves here. So king in there. He takes. Queen d8 is dubious. Rook e8 is actually a better move to try to hold onto this pawn. Also give space for the king if need be, or for the bishop to come back too, because you always want to sometimes have a bishop on f8. It's pretty nice. So e takes and queen d8. C takes, knight takes c4, d5 mistake, e takes. See, we have a more pawns than our opponent. We also have the bone crunching pawn g6 too. Knight e3, king d2, e6. If a d8, that loses to rook to b6, and we pick up another pawn. So e6 is to hold the pawn. King d3 to get off of the long diagonal here. Rook d8 could be played. Bishop c7 and rook ed. If rook d7, rook b8, and he's in a world of hurt. Actually, it's losing. Sorry, you'd actually have to pick up with the bishop, not there. It's losing. And if here, you can actually play there. Potentially. So queen d2 or d3, bishop d8, knight takes f5. So we've accomplished 3 pawns for the piece. Even though we're down in exchange, we're still doing good, and we're winning. So because we have these 2 passers, and we can get them to work for us. Rook takes. Now we're about equal material. We were ahead. There we go. c4, king f8, c5, and then e4. At this point, black decided to cash in their cards and go home, because we're just going to mark where we stopped so we don't forget. We'll just do here, we'll just put a circle there so we have it. The idea is potentially if rook checks, you have bishop here. If bishop attacks, you have f4, and then next you're gonna attack this. And if he plays here, you do have a one second, sorry, not there. I have to oops. Wait, hold on. Yikes. That was scary. Whew. Sorry about that. f4. That also loses to f5, and then the rook has to move, and we pick up the bishop with check. So you could actually just pick up the bishop right now. So that's I have to actually keep this pawn here so that when this pawn's pushed, g5 cannot be played because the bishop would be lost. So we just get this pawn rolling, and then it'd be all over. Are we ready? Are we ready? All right. Let me see here. What does this most remind us of? I'm looking at the thing that's holding white's position together, the two knights, is the bishop. So if there was a way to get rid of the bishop, we potentially could win a pawn. I mean a piece, actually. I'm getting the feeling that potentially knight c4, and if knight takes c4, queen takes f4, check is an idea. I'm also looking at knight g4. Knight g4 is interesting. What are you thinking, Erie? Which knight were you thinking about for d5? I was looking at d5 though, but the bishop could actually retreat back. So I'm not sure. See if let's say knight f d5, knight f d5, the bishop can actually go back to bishop d2, and I don't think we have anything at that point. Oh, we do. We got, well, yeah, we do. We got mate. Sorry, my bad. Queen takes. Well, I'm not bad. I just missed it. Queen takes. There's mate. So. I'm thinking it might be knight f d5, and then if bishop, let's say rook f3, rook f3, knight takes f4, and then bishop takes g5. Could that potentially be in line? Because we want to unleash, the reason we want to do the f rook is it unleashes our bishop onto the knight. What do you think about knight f d5? Are you kind of in agreement with that knight, or which knight? All right. Oh, sorry. Did I put a knight there? Ah, I don't know how I got a knight there. Must be errors. Yeah. Yep. And now we have a. Oh, wait a second. What did I do? Hold on. That didn't come out right either. Let's see. Rook f. Oh, it's bishop. Bishop. Hold on. It's rook f. Oh, bishop takes f. It's a bishop. No, knight. No, knight does. No, it is knight. Knight takes. Ah, that's right. Knight takes f4. Rook takes f4. That's right. And then that takes. Yep. There we go. Yep. Gotcha. So you in agreement with that one? What do you think? Do you like it? Do you like our line? Huh. Alright, let's give her a go. Huh, that's interesting. Did not consider that. That's a let's see, knight takes g4, bishop f5, or g5. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, we got to where I'm thinking it's a pin. Hey, economy. Hi, Frank. Yeah, I'm thinking that bishop. Let me see, bishop D. Hold on, let's see. Bishop D6, rook E3. Oh, yeah, that makes sense then. Okay. Oh, so it was the other way. Ah, right. Okay, so what's okay? We should have went with a plan. Right. See here. Knight here, there. Oh, knight takes e. As that's what happens. Bishop G, rook E3, knight E5. Ah, okay. Okie dokie. That's what does the trick. That's the tricks. And D3, knight D3. Okay, bishop takes, knight takes, takes. If rook takes, queen takes. Okay, so we have more than enough material. Bishop here, he has knight takes, pawn takes, and then knight g6, and he's safe to go for right now. Bishop takes, and then he could actually check if he wants to, but okay. Let's stay ahead of the tide. Oh, we're so close to mate here. I can taste the mate. I can taste it. We need to find out where we're. Well, I guess rook D. No, he can actually. Well, let me see. Rook D7 would block. Would block it. Rook C5. That would stop the mate, wouldn't it? If we played bishop d7, he could play queen takes d6 here. He could play queen takes d5, and then if we played rook rook to e8, he's got queen g8, and then he's equalized. He's actually up a pawn in that line. He'd be up a pawn in that line. He'd be more than happy to take our rook and then play queen g8 and then grab our rook. We grab his rook and he'd be up a pawn. Yeah. Yeah, rook c5 is interesting move. I'm actually looking at the two rook c5 or rook d7 here, because rook d7 actually prevents the queen from coming to e8, and so it only really has one point to go to. If we played rook d7, he has queen a8, and then rook e8 is a mate, of course. So that's a mate. I'm just trying to find out rook c5. What's the problem with rook c5? There has to be something that we're missing. What am I missing on rook c5? Is there really anything that's wrong with rook c5? Let me see. I'm trying to find to see if there's anything wrong with rook c5. Let me see. Do, 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 do. Rook e8 isn't mate. You can actually intercept with yeah. Well, actually, it wouldn't be mate, because the queen can actually go to g8, sack itself for the two rooks. Yeah, it forces the exchange, but then we'd be down two pawns, and I mean down a pawn in the end after everything. See, they have 4 pawns, we only have 3. We're going for a checkmating idea here, so we're having to figure if which rook moves best, rook d7 or rook c5. Okay, let me see if we see rook c5. I think it is more forcing. Yeah, I think it is the most forcing. I'm going to go with that. I really don't see anything wrong with it. I want to see what's wrong with rook d7 though, because there has to be something. I'm not sure if it's more forcing or not. Let me see. Queen takes. That's what's wrong with it. Okay, the bishop is lost. Got to be more on the game there. That's the only way to cover the bishop. Duh. Should have seen that. You know what? We learned, and we got to work with the information, and we found out why it's wrong. Now we know not to do that and to look a little bit deeper into our information or into the position. Oh, I should show hats. I'll show you hats to after this. I'll show you the why the other one didn't work, and I'll go through it. I forgot to show that one to you. I'll do it after this, not to worry. We'll go back to the other puzzle and grab it. Let's see, bishop takes G, bishop takes G, rook G. Yeah, I think that, let me see. If queen takes the knight, then you mate. Yeah, so bishop takes G7, bishop takes G7, rook G1. If queen takes D5, we play queen takes D7, or G7 mate. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, we just win the queen. Okay, here's yeah. Here's the line that I was going to tell you about, hats. Okay. We were talking about, oops, let's see. This here. The problem is rook takes, and then when check, he can intercept there. Rook takes and king takes, and now there's 3 pawns. Yeah. Do you see that when bishop d7, he'll take on, and then when we try to check, the queen's more than happy to sacrifice itself for two rooks, so that when we take and king takes, it's actually up like a half a pawn. So it's up better. Did I answer your question, hats? I'll take that as a, is that a yes? Okay, we'll take that as a yes. And then we'll move on to the next puzzle. It's 14%, who'd have thunk? I think they missed the queen takes d5 because they want to go for the mate, and and that kind of would fool you if you didn't know. Okay, perfect. Then it all worked out in the end. Nice. Okay. Hey, we're all about learning. That's the whole thing, hats. All about learning. So, not to worry. Let me see here. Bishop F. This is kind of a newer one. We may have seen this one. This is kind of, I don't really remember this one. I'm thinking it has something to do with a check. Bishop D7, King G4, then King G2, and then Knight. I'm thinking this might be the I'm thinking this might be the move. Bishop F7 check. Bishop F7 check. If King G4, King G2, Queen takes C6. Ah, drat. He holds with takes C6. That holds. Drat. I'm not happy about that. See, I think he can actually run to g4 and be safe. So, let's see here. Bishop f2. Oh, g2 first. King g2 first. Queen c7. Queen c7. What if he goes queen c7 though? Because that would cover that covers the bishop going to f2. I really don't think he would walk into a king g2, king g6, and then knight e7. That's a fork. That's not good. I don't think so. I don't think he'd go to g6. He'd walk right into a fork. I'm not sure he'd walk into a fork. I'm sure if you were in time trouble, it's a blitz game, I'm sure potentially you could. Well, I'm looking at potentially bishop f7 check. If king g4, then we have knight e7. Knight e7 attacking the queen. If the queen goes to c7 to attack, then potentially, I'm not sure after that. But I don't see a continuation after king c2 though. We can't play bishop anything. I don't really see a continuation after that. Well, maybe we can get a draw. We could maybe play king king g2. If queen c7, king h3, maybe king h3. Something like that. Maybe we could walk our king up the board and try to trap the king offside. And then try to defeat him that way. That might potentially be. But if he goes bishop f7 check, he's got king to g4. Maybe we take first. What do you mean? Oh, with the g6. I think you would probably want to play if bishop f7, knight g6, probably knight to e7 here, knight e7, and that to double attack on the piece. But he doesn't have to play that way. He could actually play. He won't do the e2. He'll play queen c7. Queen c7. And then you don't have a hello. Oh, not queen c7. Sorry, queen takes. Sorry, I mean queen takes c6, not c7. I don't know where I got c7 from. Yeah, that input that. Yeah. So bishop f7 check, king g4, king g2, queen takes c6, and then you're saying bishop c4. Huh. Yeah, that does win, doesn't it? Yeah, you're right. That does win. Nice work, economy. I think it's a perpetual. I think it's B. Oops, yikes! Almost missed that. Okay. Bishop f7, knight g6. Huh. So that would be a problem. Yeah, I think it is right. Yep. Only move bishop e2 is only move. Then we fork the queen. There we go. Well, that was an interesting one, wasn't it? Yep. The most point out move is actually queen takes c5. That's the most in your face move. Is there anything more in your face besides that? Maybe bishop. Yeah, that would be, but the knight would take it. So bishop c4 first. Knight takes c4. Queen takes c4. King d. Okay, I think that is, yeah. Let's see, bishop c4 check. King will. Knight takes. Yeah, I don't think you get anything out of that. Knight takes c4. Queen takes c4. The only move is king d7. And then bishop takes c5, I think, check. King would go to c7. I think that's about it. Bishop c4, knight takes c4, queen takes c4. Only move is king d7. Yeah. Okay, I'm just taking a quick analysis of it. Just hold on, I'm looking at all the lines. I think we're okay in that line. Yeah, let's go with it. I don't see really any problem. Oh, so there is a problem? Nothing there. It's not over here, is it? Huh, what I miss? Oh, strat. I think this is like a Black Burns mate or something like that. How it's set up. Sorry about that. It's my fault there. We'll get it back. Don't worry. We'll get it back. We just gotta let's see here. This is yeah, let's see, h4, a5, h3, A6, H2, A7, H1. Alright, H1 equals queen. A1, or is it A8? Sorry, A8 equals queen. Then we play E3. E3 check. King takes E3. Queen takes A8. Oh, really? Okay. Hold on. It's that? Oh. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. To draw. So first of all, you pull it away. Okay, we'll take a look next time. Sorry about that. I thought for sure that worked. Let's do it right. Let's try one more time. So we don't want any mistakes. There. Okay, no more mistakes. Yeah. Okay, I'll get it for you. We'll have to. I'll do that for you. Okay, we'll get the PG end of it. Let's get a drink of water. Oh yeah, because you had to clog that up. Knight e7, rook takes e7, and then queen h6, and there's no way to stop mate at that point. All right, let me. Oops. Hold on. Hold on. Did I? Okay. Sorry, wrong PGN file. Yeah, that's the reason. That's a block that is known if from patterns. Oops, wait a second. What did I do that for? Hold on. Copy. This is so I don't forget. Just hold on, guys. I promise I'll be right back into it. Come on, don't lag them in now. Why is it doing this? It's sometimes I hate to see when it lags. Yeah, there we go. Hooray. Paste. Let's do it to it. Let's get the points back. Let's hang in there, not make any rash moves. Let's see. I'm looking at potentially rook g3 check. Rook g3 check's an interesting move. There's also a potential double check. There's rook takes f1 check. That's a double check. Only move is king d2, knight f3 check, king c3, bishop d4 check, king c4, bishop d5 check, and then I think the queen would have to go to queen d5, and then bishop takes d5. I think that's it. Oh, he's made it after rook takes d. Oh, well, no, the knight's in the way, isn't it? Isn't the knight in the way? So yeah, rook takes d3, check, king e1, king e1. Oh, well, no, that would that work? Oh, knight to c2, knight c2 check, queen takes. No, that wouldn't work either. No, that wouldn't work. Knight f5. Hold on, wait a second. King f2. Oh yeah, that would be one. Let me see. So takes, king e1, rook d1, king, knight f2, bishop there, and bishop takes. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think that is mate. Yeah. Nice job. That was an interesting one, to say the least. I'm looking at potentially queen takes, d7 check, king f8, bishop c5 check, king g7, bishop d4, then e5. Oh, wait a second. Oh, wrong check. My bad. Here's the checkmate. We win the queen. Sorry, yeah, we win the queen. I just noticed that it's actually bishop takes h6 and we win the queen. Yeah. Or the rook. Let's see. So bishop takes h6, rook g7. Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out what's the continuation after that. That's interesting. Let's see here. Because this looks like it wins, but the only problem is king here, and then that's shut down. So this here, the queen's not going to intercept, the rook will. Oh, queen takes c. Okay. Alright, so basically you're forcing through to knight 95. And then probably we're just going to take at that point. And now we're basically we're up in exchange. So we're up in exchange with positional benefits of castling. Okay. And wow. I got it. I got it. Knight e5, knight e5, queen takes e5, check, king h7, e takes d7, bishop f3, check, king g1. No, that doesn't work. Drat, the bishop's there. It doesn't work. Darn. The bishop ruins everything. It ruined it all for me. It ruined it all. Or maybe it didn't. Yeah, wait. I was looking at that too. Hello, yeah. Hold on. Let's see. Maybe this does actually work. Hold on. Let me take a look. Not the bishop takes, but bishop f1, and then at that point. Actually, wait a second. Takes there. Nope, nope. It has to be. Sorry, it's be rook takes b. Rook takes b2. Sorry, rook takes b2. Queen takes b2. Bishop. Oh, I don't think that'd work. Bishop f1. He'd play queen to h8 check. King takes h8, and then e8 equals queen, and that'd be check. Sorry, I have to paste. Okay, so we gotta probably dismiss that out of the category now. So knight e4. If e takes d4, so knight d. Oh, queen d4. Okay, queen d4. Queen d4. E takes d4. Queen takes. Rook takes b2. Rook takes b2. Queen takes b2. Bishop f1. F e5. Alright, d5. Check. King g6, and there's no way to stop us from winning in that line. Yeah. So d3. Well, d3, f3, check. King e3. King c. Actually, probably knight e5, e2. So I think we win. d5, king d5, knight f4, check, and he covers. Then he covers d3. That covers d3. I'm thinking it's a push. That's fine. D3, king c4, d2, and he can't stop it. If he goes to c3, it's over. You have a line, Frank? You got a line to look at? I'm pretty sure it's pushing. I don't know if he has enough time to actually get his knight over to stop it. His king can't stop it. He might try after, let me see here, d3. He could play knight f4, or not knight f4. King takes f4, king c4, and the pawn still rolls, so we win that even if d3, knight e5, king takes e5, king c4, and e2, and there's nothing you can do about it. f4 is not a problem. Let's see. So d3, f3 check, king e3. You're saying knight e5, d2, and he still can't stop it. I don't think there's enough time for him to stop it. Oh, I see what you're saying, huh? Let's see then. There. Okay, yeah, I guess you could stop it via there. Oh, I got it. I'm silly. D3, right? F3. All you have to do is play knight d5 and you're safe. Knight d5. Knight d5. Oh, why did I say knight d5? It's king d5. A little too excited there. King d5, and you stop his knight from going to e5. Oh. I guess that is a problem, huh? Well, maybe it's f5 then. Let's see. Yeah, so let me see here. So d3, f3 check, king f5, king f5. Right, but I think that's our best opportunity at that. Then what? Do you have a plan? What is your plan? Do you have a move sequence? D3, F4, F3. Okay. So what would be the plan? We have to have a line to work this with. King D4. But wouldn't the knight go? What about the knight going to F4 though at that point? Oh, king. Oh, yeah, F4. Well, I guess you could go C. Oh, I gotcha. So you're thinking this, and then okay, then D4. king d3 then. King d3, and it doesn't have anything. I don't see any more checks that he can potentially lay out there. Nice work. Huh, I didn't see that for some reason. That's not fun. I gotta work on that. And I didn't see that that was a possible move for some reason. That's weird. I guess it's the piece left behind spot that you can use sometimes. Good work. Let's see here. So rook takes a1, rook takes a1. And then rook takes a7. So that would win material for sure. So let's see, rook takes a1, knight takes a8, rook takes e1, queen takes e1, knight, queen takes a7. I was just looking at if he didn't take and went after our rook. I think we'd be up a whole piece in that line, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see here though. Let's say that the queen doesn't take, but we're going to say that we'll say a knight takes knight takes, let's see here, so okay, takes, bishop takes e, knight takes b6, rook takes f1, check, king takes f1, I don't know if I'm not sure if we actually win anything in that line. Let me see, rook takes, let's see, rook takes, knight takes, rook takes, knight takes b6, rook takes queen, king takes, I don't know if we win anything in that line. I'm not sure if we do. I think we can't take the rook, so we'd probably have to take the knight. So rook takes rook takes a1, knight takes a 8, and then queen takes a no, that wouldn't work because then rook would take and they'd be up material on that line. Rook takes. So that doesn't work, huh? There's something. I'm missing something here. Knight takes c7, bishop takes c7, queen takes c7, and then rook takes a6. So I'm not sure. Do we win? What are we up after that? We do have then rook takes a7 at that point. So I'm not sure. Let me see. He'd have two rooks, and we'd be down in an exchange. I think we'd have three. We'd have three pieces for two rooks. No, the rook wouldn't be able to take because the queen would take back. No, I think we would have, for the rook, I think we'd have three pieces, if I'm not mistaken. I think we'd have three pieces for the rook. I think that'd be more than enough. Oh, that makes sense too. Yeah. Yeah, I think you have this. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting line. I'll show you. It's so weird. It looks so funny. Come on. Gotta wait for our thing to come up. Alrighty. I'll show you. It looked so funny. This line looks like it works, but it actually doesn't. It's a draw. It's actually a straight out draw. The A takes. Okay. Alright, almost there. You gotta give it some, we gotta give the computer some time. Come on. We gotta encourage the computer to say, you could do it. Come on. Almost there. Let's try that again. Hold on. Oh, great. Hold on. Let's get this up. Come on. There we go. Now it's working. Okay. Had to give it a second. And if knight takes here, here, and there, and yet they're actually up a pawn in that line. So, and then if knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes here. So the only move that, and what I was looking at is after rook takes, knight takes, f takes here, queen takes and takes. Now this actually wins. So you'd have to do the right take order. But because of the knight takes, and then that's winning too. So that was an interesting line. I liked. Wanted to show it why the other lines didn't work. There's only a cut. You have to make sure that there was only one line that worked really good, two lines that worked good for us, and one line that worked for our opponent. Okay. Let's see. He's threatening mate here. If we go g6, he has bishop takes e5, and he wins our rook. Okay. But actually, I think we would win a queen in that line. Let's see here. Maybe I'm mistaken. Let's see. G6. Bishop takes e5, and then g takes h5. So, yeah, g6. Bishop takes g6. Rook takes g6. Bishop takes e5. Check. King. G8. I think we're okay at that point. What's wrong with rook? It's actually we lose a pawn, I believe, in that line. Let's see. Rook h6. Queen takes e5. He picks up a pawn. I know you're thinking, but wait. Rook h6. Rook h6, yeah. Oh, that does win a... Okay. So, rook h6, queen takes, bishop takes, rook e there. Yeah, I think... yeah, I think they can hold with f4 like we just said. Okay. That could be the... I think you have it right. I think you got it right now. Rook h6. If queen takes... when queen takes e5, and then rook e6. I think you have it right on that one. I think that's right now. Because then we... Well, no. Yeah, that's right. Because the bishop's protected by the queen at that point. No, the queen could actually move back to h5 and threaten mate. I was wrong about that. I was wrong about this move. The queen could actually swing back to h5 and then threaten mate again. Oh, I guess, yeah. I could see that. So, oh yeah, you'd win the bishop. Okay, then it does work. Then it does work. That's the reason. And they pick up a pawn and a rook. Ouch. Okay, at least we know now. Uh, okay, bye, Erie. Be blessed. Knight e6. E6 check. If king f7. Yeah, king f7. Rook takes e7. Check. Rook takes e7. Bishop takes e7. I don't think we win in that line because he's got a2 and I think he wins. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to see if bishop g3 doesn't do anything. I think 95 could be played at that point. Or 94, sorry, 94 check. So knight e4. Bishop takes h4. Actually, knight e4. He could actually play a2. What are you gonna do? Okay. Then if we do that, knight e6, king f7. Oh yeah, it does work. Wow, that is an interesting one for sure. Ooh, ooh, wow. Ugh. Let's see if we have any good knight maneuvers after takes a2. Check. No, nothing there. There has to be something we're missing. Ah, there it is. Yep, nice. I got it. I see what you guys are saying. Okay. There you go. One more. Here we go. Be right back. Take a look. See what you guys can do. Be right back. Yeah, I remember this one. Let's see, I believe it's, let's see, rook f2. Or f3, sorry, rook f3 check. Oh, rook c1. I think you're right. Let's see, rook c f3, king b4. Yeah, there's no way to stop it because you'll get in front of the pawn. Yeah, I think it. Let's see, king c1, check. F king b4. Rook c2. Rook takes. No, that can't be right. I mean, I'm not saying yours is wrong. I'm just trying to figure out to see how I can get it to work. Because rook c1, check, king b4, rook c6, king b5, b7, king takes. Oh, then we take. Then we queen, rook b6, check, queen takes b6, king takes b6. G4, E5, G5, there. I'm looking at. It's okay. Take your time. Hey, we're not going anywhere. Okay, just take your time. Everything's fine. We're in it for the long haul. And then rook c2, rook takes b6, check at that point. That's okay. I think that is right. Oops. It's knight. I knew I missed something. So you turn into a knight. You turn it into a knight. And then it pulls it away. Okay. So here, 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 there, and then G. Okay. Drat. We have to calm down, and we'll get this. Don't worry. Just gotta. See, bishop d1, check, king takes g5, g7, and I think we're okay, but that's the. Are you sure? So I have the line right? Let's see. Let's see, bishop d1, king takes g5, 7, g7, rook g4, king h1. Oh, we take the rook. We just take the rook at that point. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's hope this is right. Yes. So far, so good. Take a check. So we push. So we don't want to take because he'll stop it. We go there, and he can't stop it anymore. Yep. And we can't turn it. We can't turn it into. I don't think we could turn it into a rook. I'm not sure. I think we can turn it into a knight. A rook? I think a rook would be a. Would a rook be a draw? No, a rook would win. Yeah. Well, yeah, a rook would win because when he checks, we take with the rook. Yeah, I think we turn it into a rook. Let me see. Rook, queen, g8 demotes to rook. Rook g4, check. Rook takes g4, king moves, and then we got him. Okay. Let's do it. Let's hope this is right. I'm calculating everything right. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, I think we'll probably call it on that. Do you guys have any questions? I'll show you why it's not a queen. It's a little sneaky trick that some of your opponents might play on you. It's a it's a smother mate set. Not some smother mate, but stalemate. If you play queen right here, this actually is a draw. It's by stalemate. But if you turn it into a rook, and then he checks, then you just take and it's mate. I wanted to check what would happen if you turn it into a knight. Oh, a bishop. Wow. They have you turn it into a bishop. What would happen if it was turned into a knight? I think it's trapped. It's a draw too. King g5. So turn into a rook. So do you have any questions or anything on any of the lines that we went over? Do you want any? Does anybody want any of the puzzles before I log off? No? Yes? Okay. Any questions? Any questions at all? Nope. Okay. Then I'll take that as a no. Alright. And you know what? We have to remember that life is about treasuring your victories and learning from your losses. Remember that mistakes do not define you. It's how you handle the mistake that defines you as a chess player and a person. There are no limits. There are plateaus, and you must not stay there. You must go beyond the plateau that you're at. And Bruce Lee. Actually, I want to start with this one. We become what we think about. So what you think about, you end up becoming a lot of. So if you have doubt and that you can't do something, and it'll eventually come true because it'll be self prophesying of that we make it happen, and then we say, see, look what we did. I knew it was going to happen anyways. But Bruce Lee says this though to that. Remember? He goes, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has I fear the person who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. So when we practice and we do our all of our tactics, we're like what Bruce Lee said, the 10,000 kicks. And when we're ready and we land our blow on the chessboard, it'll be over. And I always think of the new movie that of the Pooh Corner that came out with Christopher Robin when he grew up and he got older. It's a really cool, cute story, that one. But they asked Tigger. His daughter asked, "What's a Tigger?" Tigger told him all about him. And when they ask, how come you do this and you study? How come you're like that? You could say, "You're a chess cruncher," and chess crunchers do the thing. Remember, what do chess crunchers do? They hang up their coat, they hang up their hat, They sit down and study when most won't. We, as chess crunchers, do, and that makes all the difference. And that's why, and then I'm going to leave you with this one also thought that Yazzer has. So you're a chess cruncher when you sit down and study. So you can always say, what are you? You know, chess cruncher. There we go. Because we're great when we're together, and so when we hang together, when we stay together, we will be unstoppable. Every long journey begins with one small step. That's what Yazzer Sarwan says, and I agree with that. You have to take your first step. And what we have to remember also is that the Lord has to be the center of the chess cruncher team. He's the one that empowers us to be able to think. He's the one that gives us our talents. You know, there's the 5, the 2, and the 1. We want to be either like the 2 or the 5. We don't want to be like the 1 who did not use the talent wisely, and the master ended up taking it away and casting him out and giving it to the 10. And we don't want to let things in our lives consume our time when we should be doing chess and are the talent that the Lord has for us to do, whatever talent He's given you. Don't let the weeds of this life stop you from pursuing that. But you're always welcome on Chess Cruncher's site. If you like what you see, you can click follow and join us as the Chess Cruncher team, because there's no I in team. And as Wesley So says through the Lord Jesus, as I say, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Have a blessed morning, afternoon, evening, and Lord willing, I'll be back on tomorrow, and we'll keep pushing towards our 2,500 marker. We're doing great. We're rising above it, as in Cool Runnings, and we just got to rise above it, upward and onward. Great work. You guys did great. Thank you for all the help, and remember, keep studying and keep being a chess cruncher. All right, so be blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.